Hello, my name is Kaylee Simmons, and I would like to inform my audience about why thoroughbred racing is bad. 8 Bells, a short-lived filly who could race with the boys. She galloped her way through the Kentucky Derby, resulting in breaking both of her front ankles, and was euthanized right there on the racetrack at the Kentucky Derby, while Big Brown's victory was celebrated. I would like to inform you why racing young horses is wrong. Today, we will discuss the history of thoroughbred racing, the body development of a thoroughbred, and an outline of what the horse's body goes through when racing. I ride quarter horses and train barrel racing horses myself, and I know what ages and body development stages it takes to stay away from injuring young horses at its best. Thoroughbred racing has been popular in the U.S. for many years, but why hasn't a better safety precaution been made? First, let's look on how thoroughbred racing has evolved through the years. Horse racing was brought to the U.S. from England, but it wasn't established until after the Civil War in the 1800s. During the 1890s, there were over 300 racetracks in the United States. Thoroughbreds are used in racing because they naturally have a long-lasting stamina and are high-strung and aggressive, making them great competitors. In 1750, a group of racing people formed the Jockey Club, known today as the largest and only thoroughbred racing registry. Now that we've looked at the history, let's take a look at the body of the thoroughbred. Secondly, thoroughbreds, just as any horse, are not done fully developing until around age 5. Thoroughbreds that are racing the Kentucky Derby are only 3 years old. There are many different ligaments and tendons in the lower leg and the pastern of the horse, which is like an ankle in people. And if they aren't protected, they can be torn, which sometimes can lead to being euthanized or permanently handicapped. Thoroughbreds are very long-legged with long necks and long backs, helping them reach out when running. Lastly, let's take a look at what the thoroughbred body endures when running races. As you may notice when you watch your next horse race, pay attention to the horse's legs. It is rare that you ever see any sort of protection. Take into consideration that the Derby runs in whatever weather conditions there are. The ground could be bone dry or very sloppy mud. Sometimes horses are even run on turf or grass. Thoroughbreds can average a speed of 35 to 45 miles per hour. Take 8 Bells for instance. In 2008, she finished second to Big Brown and broke both of her front ankles after crossing the finish line and was euthanized right there on the racetrack in front of millions of people. Once again, she wasn't wearing any leg protection, which may have saved her life. She was killed at only 3 years old. In 2008, 36 horses suffered fatal injuries on Kentucky racetracks, and those numbers have only grown since. I would like you to think about the reality of this situation. A young horse whose body isn't done developing yet is raced at their maximum potential, injured, and killed or handicapped for the rest of their life. Today, we learned why thoroughbred racing is bad. We went over the history of thoroughbred racing, the body development of a thoroughbred, and what their bodies endure during racing. Owners of these horses don't genuinely care for these animals. Did you know that the famous racehorse Seabiscuit was injured in his very last race and was sent to Japan for horse slaughter? The only remains of him in the U.S. is a memorial. All these animals are used for is gambling.